Swami Vivekannada, an Indian yogi who travels to the United States in 1893. Vivekannada was born into an aristocratic Bengali family. He was a naughty, restless, problem child. His parents had a lot of trouble controlling him. But the future Swami shows an early childhood interest in the Hindu scriptures and is considered something of a genius by his teachers. He is trained in Indian classical music, but he also studies Western philosophy and Western history. Vivekannada becomes a Freemason and is also fascinated by Western esotericism. The future Swami strives for an interfaith, interspirituality, and philosophy as the way to come face to face with the divine. And he decides to become a Hindu monk. He is told by his guru, Ramakrishna, to visit the temple of Kali and observe the ecstatic hallucinations and revelations, of the goddess Kali worshippers. When he visits the temple of Kali, Vivekannada prays for true and divine knowledge. And this becomes, basically the first step in his spiritual transformation and education. Now, during the years 1888 to 1892, Vivekannada travels all over India. He travels as a wandering monk, visiting learning centers, educating himself in many diverse religious traditions. He meets and stays with Indians as well as British people from all religions and various walks of life. In 1893, the Swami decides to travel to the United States and hopes to participate in the Chicago World's Fair, which is also known as the White City. The Chicago World's Fair is having a parliament of world religions. The Swami wants to be involved. He speaks fluent, articulate English, and he's, a big hit with the crowds who wait hours in order to listen to him speak. His lectures never mention the word yoga, and he does not contort himself into poses and postures. He avoids hatha yoga altogether. He eats meat and smokes. He uses tobacco products. He also smokes pot and wants to introduce yoga postures, the asanas, gradually to Western audiences. The newspaper reporters turn the Swami into a celebrity. They romanticize him and call him a handsome Oriental that is dressed in scarlet robes and a turban. They call him the most impressive figure in the Parliament of World Religions. So, Vivekannada speaks at a series of avant-garde, intellectual, interfaith, intercultural gatherings. His common theme in these lectures is the universality of all religions. He's really an interspiritual guy. And tolerance towards others, with harmony among all spiritual paths. The Swami spends the next 2 years touring the USA, especially in the East. Spends a lot of time in New York City and Chicago. He gives free private classes in asana, posture yoga, as well as private lectures to dozens and dozens of disciples. But sadly, the touring schedule begins to affect his health. The Swami adopts traditional Hindu spiritual ideas in order to fill the needs and understandings of the West. So he creates his own unique version. Western mystics who are interested in Western esoteric traditions and movements like transcendentalism and spiritualism, they attend his lectures, as do the rich and the famous. The Swami, in his book, Raha Yoga, which is published in 1896, I believe, quotes from the Yoga Sutras, but blurs Hindu traditions and mixes in metaphysical occult jargon, elements of spiritualism, which of course was very popular at the time. his actual yoga practice is difficult to pin down. The Swami floats from Tantra to Vedanta, and links Hatha Yoga to the concept of the Kundalini, leaving plenty of leeway for personal interpretation of his text. Vivekananda's book is an immediate success and becomes a highly influential text. Now, the Swami is given land. There's a donation of land near San Jose, California, and he establishes a peace retreat, or ashram, in California. The Swami also established Vedanta Press, which publishes a series of English translations of Hindu scriptures and other Eastern, sacred texts. These books, translated in English, become very, very popular. The Swami helps to create a new and better understanding or appreciation of Hinduism in the Western world. The Swami is the catalyst for the modern era's enthusiastic reception of yoga, the modern attitude towards transcendental meditation and other forms of Eastern spiritual and physical self-improvement in the West. So the Swami is really, and Madame Blavatsky, of course, they're both the first two dots that connect to the Western world concerning yoga. All right, with that thought, we're going to conclude